Ready. Hey guys, Craig Met from Met for Knife and MKT USA here at the Shack 3 in Phoenix, Arizona. Here with Paul from DLT. What's going on, man?
What's going on?
Morning.
Good morning.
Did you have fun last night?
Yes. Yeah, we went on a little Jeep adventure last night. It was quite a bit of fun. Stayed out of trouble, but a couple sticky spots, we made it home.
You guys, I am such a fucking jamoke. I got a new Jeep Gladiator, got rid of my Ford F-250, and it's got 37s on it and a lift, and I'm like, oh yeah, we could do anything. So we went out last night. We hit the Tonto National Forest at dusk. It was pretty. We went out by the water. It was lovely.
Absolutely stunning. I didn't think we were gonna venture out there, but it was well worth the drive.
And we started down what I now know to be 10 Mile Wash that comes out at Bartlett Lake Road. And about 9 miles in, we all looked at each other and said, I don't know where this road's going, but I think we need to maybe head back.
We had zero cell phone service, no GPS really to speak of that could tell us where anything on the map. So we get to see we're a dot in the middle of a green sea. So.
And no high, what do you call it?
I'd asked Greg if he had a high lift jack, and that was not in the vehicle.
Like, I don't even speak off-roader yet. I was like, geez, I never even thought about a high lift jack. I bet the dealership didn't put that in there. So anyways, we're out driving around with this Jeep that's jacked up and all wackadooski, but I don't have all the adventure safety gear. I don't have a 5 gallon jug of water. I don't have any emergency this or anything that. I should carry an emergency flare gun in the truck, don't you think?
Yeah, probably. I had a Swiss Army knife and a flashlight, and I don't...
What the fuck did you just say?
We gotta work on that.
Hey, we gotta work on that.
I had this with me too. So
all right.
I gotta pass.
All right, yeah. We're out there with a Swiss Army knife trying to fucking cut the axle off.
Yeah, Swiss Army was in addition to.
Anyways, great to have you here. And then we took him for some In-N-Out burger. I was gonna cook salmon. We ended up having In-N-Out burger, which I gotta say, that was tasty.
It was good. It was good. I'd never been to In-N-Out. It's not really a Midwest thing, so it was a good stop. We had the grand plans of the salmon, but we got home at almost 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
Yeah, it was 9. It was 9 something. And the worst part was we were outbound. I wasn't planning on being outbound. I wasn't planning on being in the Tonto National Forest. So we go outbound. I didn't tell anybody where we went. I just broke all the amateur ding dong rules. But I'm like, I'm Greg Medford. I'm like Reed, man. I've been in the desert my whole life. We'll never get lost. Screw it, man. We're going. So we go up to Sandy Wash, and then he's mentioned the jack, and I was like, man, I haven't. Usually if I'm going to do something, I'll do it like an emergency tire change, like at the house in the garage to make sure I know what I'm doing. I was like, man, I'd have to take the manual out. We'd have our cell phones trying to change it. I go, maybe I'm just going to head back. But as it turns out, it was 10 Mile Wash, and we were probably 9.3 miles into it, so that was hysterical. Anyway, got some knives, headed out to DLT Trading. DLT's been a huge partner of ours. Shout out to Jason out there, the owner at DLT. Want to say hi, and thanks so much for your support and business over the years. Let's hawk in on the knives a little bit. Come on.
Where you going?
Der Hund. MIDI with flames. 187 drop point. All T. All titanium. Oh. CPM. What is this?
That's
this is S90V.
One of the last.
One of the last
ones.
Yeah, it's one of the last S90V. And then we've got the new Theseus, which I think everyone who gets one really loves that. Micro Praetorian Genesis Thai, super rare knife, not sharpened yet. Praetorian G. What don't I know about this? S35 VM blade. Production Praetorian, high vis.
With S35.
With S35.
Oh yeah, S35 VN.
Relatively rare bird with the high vis orange.
Yep.
And S35.
Yeah,
For sure.
that's right. Orange Praetorian
And
Scout.
that's another one of the stragglers of 9.
S90V
Yep.
Praetorian T drop point. Real, no kidding. The new
TFF1.
and improved TFF1. So the new and improved TFF1 takes the Fat Daddy clip everybody always wanted from the Fat Daddy, puts it on the original blade and handle scale design of mine with the big boy clip. Oh, that's actually supposed to be touching. I'll get that fixed.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna leave that up here so I have that addressed. So guys, this knife, this is the very first knife that, very first pocket knife I ever designed. I made this to, for like my hand and my style and knife use. I didn't know any knife companies when I designed this, other than say buck and sog. So we'll get, these two need a little sharpening. This one needs a clip adjustment.
Okay.
We've got the U.S. Navy Commemorative leather sheath commando dagger. All black CPM 3V USMC fighter.
That's one of his last runs.
And this is very end of this. This was a special run just done for DLT. A U.S. Army marked commemorative commando. And then let's come over here. We've got a couple little guys. We've got our new, what's this guy called?
Chunky Monkey.
Chunky Monkey, that's right. Chunky Monkey, which is a great kind of sheep's foot style. It's almost a little cleaver with a Panzer. Another Panzer here. Both of these with S35 VM blades.
I love that one.
Another Chunky Monkey. It's got such a cool clip on it. Your first time seeing these was at Blade Show, right?
It was, yeah, the Blade Show the morning of.
What do you think about these?
I liked it. It was the first time I had seen it. I hadn't seen a preview of it, so it was a little bit of a surprise. Greg had teased the name, but not the knife itself before the show. So as soon as I saw it, I snagged some up at the show, the ones that I could. And that one is, you guys, if you looked at DLT before, you know I like some of the oddity stuff and uniques. So that this Panzer is definitely one.
Panzer's so cool.
And with the the surface facing on here and the additional sculpting around the edges, just
Both
really
sides,
sets
yeah.
it off.
Yeah.
Matching front and back.
And then
So a couple of things, guys. DLT's got a nice sampling of these samurai sacks. I don't know what you guys are going to call them, but we've got these periwinkle blue. This kind of, or did you decide not negative on that? Yeah. Okay. And
everything
then,
else on the table.
yeah, I forget what I called these, but
They're on the website, bro, so I can
Yeah.
look at the names on the website. And
Yeah.
Paul, they'll be listed on your invoice, so you can.
yeah, guys, you know, these things, they were kind of a lark, and I made them from vintage kimonos. So these are all from 1880 to around World War I. There's a couple of World War II era kimonos in here. They're all vintage kimonos. They've been aligned, and they've got a leather tie that goes with them. I think these are a lovely thing. You know, they're not for everybody, but, and additionally, these medium-sized ones fit glasses really nicely. They're not for everyone, but if you've got some loose stuff kind of banging around, or let's say you're you got to go to the courthouse, or you got to go in a government building for some permits or whatever, and you're not supposed to have your pocket knife with you, you can have one of these. I like them for glasses too. They're great for spectacles. They're,
No, my one question is, Greg, you untie it, like, how was it tied again? So can you throw your glasses in there and show people the traditional way to tie it and how you were doing it?
well, I do it around the front because I just do it like that because it just makes it easy. When they're sewn, they get double knotted on the back, and it makes them, I guess, photograph a little bit better. But I like them tied in the front.
Okay.
That way, when I go to open it, I just go like this.
Perfect.
A little more usable. But these are great for, you know, like if you're going someplace where you're not supposed to have your knife, or you don't want to be bringing it in, or you're picking somebody up at the airport and you want to meet them out when they come down the ramp, and you don't want you know what happens is you take your knife out of your pocket, lay it in your console, or you put it in your glove box, or you put it in your little ashtray console area, and then you got your person with you, or you finish your cork thing, or whatever you're doing, you're back in your vehicle, you're driving around, and 4 days later you're like, what the fuck's my pocket knife? I took it someplace, and it's just been banging around with some coins and some crap and a nail clipper or whatever, and it just is beating everything up, and it's getting beaten up. And then guys are like, yeah, every time I take my knife out, I forget where I put it, or I don't want to scratch it. So I just think this is kind of like the perfect thing to have a couple of these where you take your knife off. So I would have one laying on the nightstand. I would have one, you know, in the car, especially if you drive. You know, a lot of guys that are buying knives like this are rolling around in nice wheels. And if you're driving a really nice car, you don't want some big hunk of metal banging around. Plus, it's making noise and rattling and scratching stuff. So I just think they're to have these. They're classy. They have a great story behind them, and they make carrying your knife around, if you're a little finicky, a lot more practical. Me personally, I don't care about my knives being scratched. Me personally, I don't care about my stuff getting banged up, because I use it and I feel like wear marks are the rights of manhood. But I know, if you're driving a leased BMW and you don't want it banging around in the console, I think these are really, really nice for that.
And the one thing Greg didn't mention, I like them because people, realistically, how many people out there have one knife? You have a couple different knives. The Medford packaging is big, very sweet, but a little bit impractical if you have multiple knives. You're not going to put it back in the snap case. So if you have multiples, put it in the sleeve, put it on the nightstand. You're not going to have to worry about them banging together. So I think that's an additional bonus there. Because if you have multiple knives, they're not just hitting around on your dresser or wherever you put your knives.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like in the gun safe, once you've got your gun safe going or your valuable safe, it's a premium for space. So
you gotta start stacking stuff. We're putting real stuff real close.
It's like guys with watch collections. They don't have them all in their original box. They have the boxes up on a top shelf in the closet because they save those, and then the watches are down on a little watch holding thing in their jewelry area or whatever. It's kind of similar kind of thing. If you've got 10 or 12 knives, it's really convenient to have them in these bags, and they can kind of be like in a little, piled up like firewood, kind of sitting in the corner of your gun safe. If you had all those those snap-on, those plastic snap cases, they would fill the whole top of your gun safe up. And then you're like, which one's which? These are nice because you can get different ones. They're all unique, and you're like, oh, that's my Praetorian. Oh, that's this one. I love these, and I know you didn't dive into all of them, but the patterns on these are so pretty. I don't know. I just think they're really cool. I think it's a cool contrast between such a kind of stark, manly tool, and then it comes out of this vintage, beautiful silk bag. So I kind of like that. Well, did you have fun?
I had a lot of fun. We had a good time. Went out for dinner Wednesday. Met with a lot of the crew. Came in yesterday, shot some video, and talked business. So it was a very productive and fun week here in Arizona.
And we have some cool projects going to come together for DLT.
We have some very cool stuff. Greg wanted to talk in the video we shot yesterday. The ink wasn't even dry in the paper and wanted to talk about it already. So.
And I already got slapped down and told I can't talk about it. So I have been silenced.
Jawohl!
I have been quieted.
Which is rare.
Ja, der Spiegel is kaputt. Anyway, if there's anything else we need to cover, we got it to cover.
No, that
glasses
covers
are
it.
glued. They should be dried by now.
Yeah, I did break my glasses this morning. So.
And the beard is looking savage.
Thanks.
All right, cool. We got it. You didn't even get in the pool yesterday. We got the tiniest bit of pool time, but it was enough for me. Like I get in the pool, and I float in the pool for 5 minutes, and I'm like,
it was good. And I was suntanning up, and Greg's son Jack was like, "Dad, do we need to put lotion on?" No, it's too light. I'm just pasty white, so I was extra precautious.
yeah, I noticed you had your ink greased up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to sun damage your ink.
Right.
That's right. All right, anyways, Greg met from Knife, Paul from DLT.
DLTtrading.com/MKT. Check out the knives. And
We're out!